Alright, what is good everyone? Today I'm going to be doing a trade recap for June 16th, 2026. As we can see, this was my P&L and what my journal said. Right, so let's get straight into the day. On the 4 hour, I had noticed that we were bearish in my opinion, which is, quite crazy to say. Look at how much we pumped. However, if you take a closer look, we can see that we're clearly rejecting from these highs and all-time highs. We clearly we don't really want to go up, if you get what I mean. We're not doing the best in that sense. And then also on the hourly, we had just completely dumped the thing before, and there was no news today, so it's just pure momentum, I guess, that we're getting. Also inversing this 1 hour fair value gap, which made me want to take shorts. Now let's get onto the draws I had. For draws lower, I had this 4 hour fair value gap, which also happened to be a 1 hour. Then I also had this, but I wasn't really looking forward to targeting this since we were kind of close to it. However, I had this all-time highs and this high labeled just in case we did show some signs that we were gonna go higher. Right, anyway, then coming on to the 15-minute, I noticed that we were a little bit, it's like we were itching for a retrace, if you get what I mean. We were, making tiny candles. I was like, okay, we're either gonna pump up a lot or we're just gonna retrace and then dump. I was looking to retrace and then dump since how bearish we were in my opinion. So I was waiting to see if we could get a retrace in this 15-minute and then something out of it, which we ended up getting just that. Then 5-minute, I waited for market open, and we actually swapped these two lows, equal lows, which is kind of crazy, I didn't even notice. Anyway, we swept them, then we came up into the gap and basically just did what I said. We switched structure, as we can see. Look at this. Wait, hold on, I'll start here. Jesus Christ, just stop. Whatever, as you guys can see that we did switch structure and became bearish pretty quick, displacing really well. However, let me just move that out the way real quick. Those are just reminders so I don't take bad, just bad trades overall. Anyway, 5-minute, NQ and ES was really uncorrelated. This was, where's market open? This is market open, and as we can see, we pumped up on NQ. However, we did kind of dump. So at the beginning, NQ and ES were uncorrelated, so I was not looking to take any trades anytime soon. However, by the time we got to, when did I take this trade? At 3:15, which was, here as you can see, ES and NQ became a lot more correlated. And we also, I forgot to mention, we had a higher time frame. Time frame SMT. Let's get it. Oh, jeez. So that's just even more of a little confirmation that we were gonna go lower. Anyway, after ES and NQ became more correlated, I was like, alright, great. And then I also noticed, like I said, that we was forming this really bearish structure. So I was like, okay, no, that's really good. We're breaking out this little range or whatever we were doing, etc. However, I could have took the trade here if I'm honest. However, I was a little bit scared that we were just gonna sweep this market open low here and just skyrocket back, or just fall back into the range and I'd get stumped out. So I was like, okay, wait, I'll just wait for us to displace a little bit past this, then I'll see, depending on the close we get, if I'm gonna take the shots or not. And eventually we got to it after this crazy candles, really good displacement, candles down. I then entered here on this little leg up, since I was like, well, I don't know how to explain it. I just thought that this was decent enough for me to take shorts. So I took it. I entered there. I got a little bit worried, I'm not gonna lie, when we went into drawdown. However, we then quickly came back out and like dumped. And luckily, it just managed to hit where my TP was. 'Cause otherwise, I would have been like taking out break even, which is not what I wanted. Anyway, today I managed to secure the win, and I hope that you guys like these trade recaps, because it low-key helps me too. Anyway, if you guys have any questions, you can either let me know in the comments, or you can join my new Discord server where you guys can ask me any questions you want. I'll be sending out my own signals, which I hope, will help you guys. Anyway, I am not a financial, instructor or anything, so you don't have to listen to me on any of your financial decisions. Anyway, that's gonna be it for today. See you later.